What's up, Internet? So today I want to talk about how to make your short films a little bit more professional by using stock footage. And I know what you might be thinking, stock footage? That's garbage. I'm not going to put someone else's stuff into my genius short film and taint it with something that's not my own vision. Listen, filmmaking is about making the most of what you have, and filmmaking comes down to an equation of cost, time, and problem solving. And if you're putting your films on YouTube, you know as well as I do that you want to keep those costs as low as possible. And so, spending a few $1,000s to either buy a drone or hire a helicopter to go film like a city or a landscape, that's just out of the question. So that means taking advantage of the resources that you have available to you. For instance, a couple years ago I was working on this short film called The OMEn Chronicles, and I wanted to open the whole piece on this aerial shot flying over some mountains. At the time, I didn't have access to a drone and I couldn't afford to buy one either, so I only had a couple options. I found and purchased a stock footage element that I found on a website, which worked, but I didn't want to just drop it into the timeline. I wanted to make it my own. I ended up just, adding some smoke to it. I added some motion blur and sped it up a little bit so it fit the piece. And that's the question you want to ask yourself when you're looking at stock footage elements is, how can I take this and add my own flavor and style to it? So the first and probably the easiest thing you can do to your footage to differentiate it from what you just download off the internet is color correct it and color grade it so that it looks very unique and cinematic. And one way to do that is if you're working in Adobe Premiere, which you should be working in Adobe Premiere because it's the best, is apply this effect called lumetri on your footage. And basically that allows you to place a lookup table. And a lookup table is also known as a LUT. It's called a LUT. I knew that. A lookup table is basically just a fancy color spreadsheet that moves the colors of certain pixels to different colors and kind of shifts the whole image to a more cinematic feel. If you want to make your stuff look pro, look into using lookup tables. The next best thing to make your footage unique is to actually add something into it. And for me, as an effects artist, the obvious thing is to add effects to it, right? It could be anything. You could literally add anything you want to stock footage because it's your footage now. For instance, in the OMEn Chronicles, I added smoke. Or if you want to just add destruction to a shot of a city, there's actually a really good tutorial over at videocopilot.net, so you can check that link out in the description. That's the kind of flexibility you have when taking stock footage and just adding your own effects to it. Or if your studio is literally just a room, but you have a green screen and you can film yourself or your actors on a green screen, your possibilities are endless. You can literally just take any stock footage clip, film your actors on a green screen, motion track them into the shot, kind of match them to the footage. That allows you to get people in certain situations that you wouldn't have been able to afford a permit for instance, like shooting on the top of the Eiffel Tower or, in some canyon that you can't travel to. So, where can I find some good stock footage? Funny I should mention that. A fantastic place to find great and affordable stock footage is this website called videoblocks.com. And they operate a lot like Netflix does, so it's a subscription-based model, and you have access to their entire library of everything they have. This includes a ton of 4K content as well, and since most of that 4K stuff was actually shot on Red cameras, they include the R3D files directly from the camera for you to download and adjust as you would as if you recorded it on your own Red camera. I don't know anywhere else that really has a huge library of R3Ds that you could download and adjust like you would as if you shot it yourself. That's pretty cool. And of course, everything is 100% royalty free, so you could use it for your own personal work or even commercial work. I like to play the game of finding which shots I recognize from the intros to certain TV dramas. Looking at you, CSI, New York, Miami, Hollywood, Toronto. All right, so it's $99 a year, and that may seem like a lot, but consider this. That opening shot to the OMEn Chronicles, that stock footage clip I mentioned, that was $300 for that one single 30-second clip. And it wasn't even 4K, it was HD. Or if you would rather just test the waters a little bit and download as much as you can in 7 days, I got a free 7-day trial for you in the description below. So you may be wondering why I've not really been around lately, and that's because I've been working full-time for Corridor Digital, and we've been doing a lot of really cool stuff over there, with real budgets that aren't zero. So I've been able to do cool videos like Superheroes versus Gaming Heroes and Portal Trick Shots. These are two videos that I'm really proud of, so check those out if you've ever been interested in anything I've ever made. I'll still be putting stuff here on my own channel, just not as frequently. It'll just be kind of like my most personal, my most favorite sort of projects that I work on. In the meantime, check out these other videos and subscribe, like, rate, follow me on Twitter, and check out video blocks. Have a good day.